On October 20th, 1944, the Philippines campaign was launched to defeat and expel the Imperial Japanese forces occupying the Philippines during World War II. The Imperial Japanese Army captured the entire Philippines during the first half of 1942. 2 years later, the campaign to free the country began with amphibious landings on Leyte on October 20th, 1944. Although Manila was liberated after heavy urban fighting in early 1945, battles continued across other parts of the Philippines until the end of the war. Liberation efforts were carried out by United States and Philippine Commonwealth forces, supported by naval and air units from Australia and the Mexican 201st Fighter Squadron. These operations were still underway when Japanese troops in the Philippines were ordered to surrender on August 15, 1945, following the atomic bombings of Hiroshima and Nagasaki and the Soviet-Japanese War. On October 20th, 1962, the Sino-Indian War began when an armed conflict between China and India took place. It was a military escalation of the Sino-Indian border dispute. Fighting occurred along India's border with China, in India's northeast frontier agency east of Bhutan, and in Aksai Chin west of Nepal. Tensions between the two countries escalated following the 1959 Tibetan uprising after India granted asylum to the Dalai Lama. From 1960 to 1962, India rejected multiple Chinese diplomatic proposals, prompting China to adopt a more aggressive stance, including the resumption of previously suspended forward patrols in Ladakh beginning on April 30th, 1962. During the Cuban Missile Crisis, China saw an opportunity while the United States was distracted and, on October 20th, abandoned its pursuit of a peaceful resolution. Chinese forces launched a full-scale invasion of disputed territory along the 3,225-kilometer border, striking in Ladakh in the west and across the McMahon Line in the northeast. Chinese troops pushed Indian troops back, taking control of all territory they claimed in the western sector and seizing the Huáng tract in the east. The fighting ended a month later when China declared an unilateral ceasefire on November 20th, 1962, partly influenced by the resolution of the Cuban Missile Crisis and concerns over potential United States intervention in support of India. China also announced its withdrawal to its pre-war positions, aligning with what is known as the line of actual control. The conflict was characterized by intense mountain warfare at elevations exceeding 4,000 meters and was fought entirely on land, without naval or air support from either side. As the Sino-Soviet split widened, the Soviet Union stepped in to aid India, notably by supplying advanced Mikhail-Gorovich MiG-21 fighter jets. Meanwhile, both the United States Department of Defense and the Ministry of Defense of the United Kingdom declined to provide India with sophisticated weaponry, pushing India to deepen its military ties with the Soviets. On October 20th, 1977, a Convair CV-240 passenger aircraft ran out of fuel and crashed in a wooded area near Galesburg, Mississippi, United States. Chartered by the rock band Lynyrd Skynyrd from L&J Company of Addison, Texas, it was flying from Greenville, South Carolina to Baton Rouge, Louisiana when it crashed near its destination. Lynyrd Skynyrd, lead vocalist and founding member Ronnie Van Zant, guitarist and vocalist Steve Gaines, backing vocalist Cassie Gaines, assistant road manager Dean Kilpatrick, Captain Walter McCreary, and First Officer William John Gray all died as a result of the crash, while 20 others survived. The tragedy abruptly halted Lynyrd Skynyrd's career until Van Zant's brother Johnny reformed the band 10 years later. 30 years ago, on October 20th, 1995, STS-73 took place. The mission marked the second flight of the United States Microgravity Laboratory. Lasting 16 days, the crew operated in two shifts, Red Team and Blue Team, to maintain continuous work throughout the mission. In addition to its primary scientific goals, the flight also carried out several detailed test objectives. The astronaut crew consists of Commander Ken Bowersox on his third space shuttle mission, who was on the red team. Pilot Kent Rominger on his first space shuttle mission, who was on the red team. Mission Specialist 1, Catherine Coleman on her first space shuttle mission, who was on the blue team. Mission Specialist 2, Flight Engineer Michael Lopez Alegria on his first space shuttle mission, who was on the blue team. Mission Specialist 3, Catherine C. Thornton on her fourth and final space shuttle mission and final time in space, who was on the red team. Payload Specialist 1, Frederick W. Leslie on his first and last time in space during a space shuttle mission, who's on the blue team. And Payload Specialist 2, Albert Sacco on his first and last time in space during a space shuttle mission, who's on the red team. And on October 20th, 2011, Muammar Gaddafi was killed by the National Transitional Council after the Battle of Sirte. Gaddafi, the deposed leader of Libya, was captured by NTC forces and killed shortly afterwards. The National Transitional Council initially stated that Muammar Gaddafi died from wounds sustained during a firefight when loyalist forces tried to rescue him. However, video footage of his final moments shows rebel fighters assaulting him, beating him, stabbing him with a bayonet before he was fatally shot multiple times. His killing drew widespread condemnation as a breach of international law. Amnesty International and Human Rights Watch called for an independent autopsy and a full investigation into the circumstances surrounding his death. That's all the history I had for you this morning. If you like what you hear, leave a comment down below and subscribe. This is Stephen Luke, and I'll see you next time for another history update.